you never want to interfere with somebody's process. Like, hey, can I talk to you when they're like getting into it? But you always have time to like ask people about their take or even advice. And so specifically in acting, I feel like I've learned a ton of things from the wonderful people I've been on set with.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I absolutely love Flamin Hot. As a fan of the chips, this story was great. But this was right up my alley. And I found Richard's journey to be the epitome of the American dream. Matt, you play Lonnie, who takes his shot on Richard by giving him his job. Can you talk to me a little bit about who Lonnie is?
Lonnie is a guy who got his position because of white privilege. Like, he's elevated because that's the boys club in that factory. And he does give Richard his shot. And I think in the end, what I like about playing that guy is he becomes an ally. He turns, he kind of lets go. And he's one of those guys that like, don't rock the boat. Like we got a situation here. The more suggestions you make, the more attention you're going to bring from corporate, and that brings problems. So that's how I approached, Lonnie. And I'm a sucker for the American dream story. Like, I'll watch any movie, like obviously Air or Tucker, or there's a windshield wiper movie. I'm a sucker for somebody who tries to take something to market and against all odds cracks it into the market. So I love stories like this.
So do I, as do I. Now, Dennis, you play Clarence C. Baker, who is somewhat of a mentor to Richard, and is also kind of held back himself. Can you talk a little bit about Clarence and what brought you to what you wanted to bring to that role?
When you think about what I want to bring to the role is authenticity, and being a man of color, I kind of understand what he was going through in that factory. And then when Jesse's character comes over and wants to ingratiate himself, you're going to step back.
Sure.
That's the natural reaction. Okay, what do you want? Who are you? The corporate sends you. I said, you're a janitor. What? No, man, I'm not going to teach you my machine so you can take my job. What? And that's the kind of mentality that they kind of force you into.
Sure.
And once I realized that wasn't the case, I slowly but surely, accepted his donations to my lunch.
Absolutely.
And just started to accept him more. And it was a really authentic, story going from there.
Absolutely.
I said, I love this. I said, okay, all right. I said, I'm feeling this now.
Let's talk about Eva Longoria for a second, because I think she does a phenomenal job directing this film. What did her directing style add to Flamin' Hot? And what does her experience as an actor help direct other actors?
She created an environment that felt wonderful. And obviously she is an actor. She wanted us to portray these characters as we saw them. And we even got to rehearse. I met Dennis in a rehearsal in her kitchen, and Jesse and him were sitting across the table working out a scene like actors do, getting in there and making mistakes. And I was impressed right away with Dennis because he just kind of got to this emotional place within seconds. And I was right across the table. And I'm like, I felt uncomfortable, but it was also beautiful because Eva wanted us in there, like getting in there and just trying stuff. And so she created a milieu that I think every actor lives for. When you get on a set like that and it's like, go play or take chances.
Now, Dennis, were you able to talk to the real life Richard to get a little bit of insight to the real Clarence?
I did. Only it came later on in the shooting. But one of the little pearls he gave me really helped out, and it basically told me that I was on the right track. But, like I said, you got two people of color here.
Right.
So there is there's a camaraderie that is born from that. Once you get over, the separation, how they try to separate you, divide and conquer.
Right.
And then we decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to help you out, man.
Yeah. I mean, I love that scene where they break down the different people sitting at the different tables and letting you know, like, who you can talk to and who you can. I thought that scene was phenomenal. Matt, let me ask you this. What did you find the most surprising about Richard's journey throughout this process?
on the page, I was surprised that a secretary would put that call through to her boss. I'll be honest. Like she in some ways is the first hero. She says, all right, I'm going to give the janitor to the head of the company. So that was on the page. And then I think for like Richard's journey, I think knowing so much about what he was up against, obviously the factory life is central, but all the disturbing challenges in his family life and the sort of faith. And I think for me, there was camaraderie among the actors, but like feeling like Annie Gonzalez as his wife and that support, like she really pushed him and carried him through all that beautiful, like all those beautiful emotional scenes that they have. I found that I was surprised by how moved I was by that.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I actually think that Jesse does a tremendous job of making the audience feel like you're his best friend and you're like rooting for him along the way. And Dennis, I love the dynamic with you and Jesse. Can you talk about collaborating with him to cultivate that?
You know what? I'll tell you the truth, man. Whenever we leave the set, we definitely went our separate ways. And because I know that he had a lot to carry. So we didn't really, hang out a lot, except for the group events that we went out on. But when we were on set, that was a different thing. When we were in the makeup trailer, that was a different thing. But especially when we were on set, and we, it actually played out. Now it's really coming back to me. In the beginning, when he was trying to ingratiate himself, we did not deal with each other at all, and it was kind of instinctive. You say, because I it's kind of like working. You know what it was, and this I think this is a great compliment. It was like not De Niro, but Pacino and me in Heat.
Yeah.
I would walk into the production office, and if Pacino was in the office and he saw me, he would duck into another office because he didn't want to get close.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because he had to play that, that negativity.
Sure.
And that's the way we were when we first, started on, shooting. And then as we got, as the story became more about how we were with each other and whether I was going to help him or not.
Right.
Then that gradual, like I said, man, the way to my, to my side, to my friendship is through my stomach, through Clarence's stomach, So, he knew that this guy was trying to be genuine.
Right.
So he could let his guard down.
Am I like De Niro in that metaphor? Can I be De Niro in that metaphor?
Yeah. You're De Niro.
Thank you, Dennis.
We were already close.
I love that. Now, let me ask you, this question's for the both of you guys. A big part of Richard's journey to success was asking questions and talking to people to better understand the things that he wanted to do. What was a time in your career where asking questions help you?
I unfortunately always ask questions. I think that's how actors learn. I don't think they learn in the classroom. I think they learn on set from other actors. So I gleaned a lot from great actors who were kind enough to, as long like Dennis was hinting at, you never want to interfere with somebody's process. Like, hey, can I talk to you when they're like getting into it? But you always have time to like ask people about their take or even advice. And so specifically in acting, I feel like I've learned a ton of things from the wonderful people I've been on set with.
How about you, Dennis?
Always ask questions. Always ask questions. There's a little technique that I've always done as an actor. I ask myself 20 questions about my character.
Oh, wow.
It generally is more like 40, 50 questions about my character. It depends on how deep you want to go.
It's incredible.
And when you answer them, you're generally right.
It gives you a better understanding of the character. I'm assuming if you can answer all those questions.
Yeah, and generally and hopefully it's in the script.
Right.
Because whenever you do a movie or a television show, all the answers to your questions should be in that script.
Absolutely. Look, I'm a Flamin Hot Cheetos guy, but I would say my favorite Frito-Lay's chip would be salt and vinegar. How about you guys? What is your favorite Frito-Lay's chip?
I'm tied with salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion.
Yep. Dennis,
salt and vinegar in the plain.
There we go. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I love this movie. I can't wait to watch it again because there's there's just so much there. It's comedy. It's a family. It shows a lot about the family. And like I said, it epitomizes the American dream. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.